It's some small hour of the morning and you're awake. You're not doing anything. You're lying there, running it again. That conversation from earlier, the decision you haven't made, the thing you said, the thing you might have meant. Your body is still, but your mind is sprinting. And some part of you believes if you think about it a little longer or a little harder, you'll finally arrive somewhere. You won't. You never have. And tonight I want to talk about why, and what the Stoics understood about the spinning mind that they seem to have forgotten. Let me start by clearing up what overthinking is, because we often misname it. We call it thinking too much, but it isn't really thinking at all. Real thinking goes somewhere. It moves towards a decision, an insight or an action. Overthinking is different. It circles. It covers the same ground again and again, feeling productive the whole time, but it never arrives. It is the difference between walking towards a destination and pacing inside a cell. Same effort, same exhaustion. Only one gets you somewhere. Psychologists call this looping rumination. The cruel part is that it disguises itself as problem solving. Your mind tells you that you are being responsible and that you are preparing, that going over it once more is the sensible thing to do. So you keep going, but you are not solving anything. You are slowly suffering in a circle and calling it work. The usual advice is the same advice we hear for everything. Stop overthinking. Quiet your mind. Think positively. And if you have ever tried to force your mind to go quiet, you know how well that goes. It's like being told not to think about a white bear. The instruction summons the thing. Now you are anxious, and anxious about being anxious. You are spinning about the fact that you are spinning. You have added another floor to the prison. The Stoics do not start there. They begin somewhere more useful, with a question about where your thinking is pointed. Because almost all overthinking has one thing in common. It is an attempt to control something you do not control. Watch what happens when your mind loops at 3 a.m. The future. What might happen? What might go wrong? Other people, what they think, and what they will do, how they react. The past. What you said, what you should have said differently. The future has not arrived. Other people have minds of their own. The past is finished, yet your mind keeps trying, through repetition, to get a grip on things that we were never within its grasp. No wonder it cannot stop. It has not finished the job, and the job is impossible. This is the Stoic division of control. Some things are up to us, most things are not. The Stoics believed peace begins when you are pouring your energy into the second group. Overthinking is what happens when you keep trying to solve, through anxious rehearsal, a future that has not arrived and outcomes that were never yours to decide. Seneca said this 2,000 years ago. He said that we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. That sentence captures almost the entire problem. Most of what you rehearse in the dark never happens. You suffer the difficult conversation 40 times in your head. Then you have it once. It lasts 2 minutes and it is nothing like the 40 conversations that you had. I have lost whole nights to conversations that felt enormous in my head. When they finally happened, they were brief, calm, and completely fine. The mind treats a vivid possibility as if it were a fact. Then it charges you the emotional cost of something that has not happened. So how do you break the loop? Not by forcing the mind into silence, by giving it somewhere useful to go. The first step is one question. When you catch yourself spinning, ask, is there anything here that is within my control right now? Be honest. There are only 2 answers, and both lead out of the loop. If the answer is yes, take the action. Send the message, write the note, make the plan, set the reminder. Once you have acted, the thinking has done its job. It is allowed to stop. If the answer is no, then the thinking is not solving anything. It is pain on repeat. You can name it plainly. I am spinning. There is nothing to solve at 3 a.m. That simple statement often loosens the grip because you stop believing the lie that the loop is useful. The second step is to notice what overthinking might be hiding. Often, it is a decision you are avoiding. A lot of what feels like careful thought is fear wearing the clothes of thoroughness. You are not gathering more information. You already have enough. You are circling because deciding means risking being wrong. As long as you keep thinking, you never have to commit. The Stoics' response to this is to accept that certainty rarely arrives. Waiting for it often a quieter form of hiding. Make the best decisions you can within the information you have. Then act. Some outcomes were never yours to guarantee. The third step is perspective. Marcus Aurelius used this constantly in his private writing. He would zoom out. He would picture one worry on one day against the size of the world and the sweep of time. Then he would watch it return to its proper size. Overthinking pulls you close to a problem that fills your entire field of view. You lose sight of everything else. The answer is to step back. Ask how much this will matter in a week, in a year. Ask what advice you would give someone else facing the same problem. The thing that feels enormous at 3 a.m. often looks smaller in the daylight. The fourth step is physical. Move. Change the room. Stand up, walk, step outside. Tidy one small space, even drink some water. Thoughts loop feed on stillness and isolation. This is why they thrive at night. A racing body inside a motionless body will keep racing. For me, walking or doing one simple job often breaks the pattern. It gives my attention something real to hold instead of another imagined conversation. You cannot always think your way out of a thought loop, but you can often move your way out of one. Underneath all this is one acceptance that changes everything. You will never think your way to certainty about the future. It cannot be done. No amount of rehearsals secure an outcome. No amount of worry controls what another person will do. The mind overthinks because it's chasing a guarantee that does not exist. Peace does not come from finding that guarantee. It comes from giving up the search. You do the part that belongs to you. You do it as well as you can. Then you allow the rest to remain uncertain, because it always was. The goal is not the silent mind. That is another impossible standard. The goal is a mind you are no longer fighting. The thoughts will still come. The 3 a.m. visitors, the what-ifs, the old conversation, the imagined disasters. You do not need to fight them. You do not need to follow them either. You can notice the thought, recognise what it is, then decline the invitation to spin. Let it arrive, let it pass. Do the next real thing. You have spent enough nights trying to solve what can be done in the dark. You are allowed to put it down and sleep. The problem will still be there in the morning, but it will be smaller and it will be clearer. And it will finally be daylight when you can do something about it. If your mind needed permission to stop spinning, consider it a given. Stay for a while if this helped. There is more here each week about living quietly in a loud world.